Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you.
Great to see you, beautiful girls. Look what I
Great to
have
see you
here.
also.
Oh, so
Yeah,
beautiful.
this came
Oh,
close with me. This is like my amulet, like I keep with me to protection and love, to share love in this world. So, yeah, it's very, very precious.
I love it.
You
Thank
like you
you for
have
sharing.
yours with you, right?
I
I
do.
don't
I don't
take
have
them
it
with me.
on. Anna has hers
Yeah,
on.
this is so precious. By the way, guys, this is it's still available, right? And if any person would like to have one, you just have to go on our link in the bio, and you can purchase one of those.
Hmm.
Can be yours
Yes.
with the book,
So
with the new
beautiful.
book coming up.
The Heart of Infinity. That's what it's called. Yes. And on the site, thewellnessuniverse.com, you can get it. Thank you for the plug on that, Claudia. You're so
Yeah,
brilliant.
of course. So, Anna, I know you're our creative mind, like you're thinking all the time with all of these ideas, 2 books in a year. How did you come up with this idea for 25 tools for transformation? Because I have a feeling this is a really powerful, like transformation, something that it's going on with all of us, especially people that are in this process of being awakened, connected with the spirituality, so we can see the transformation in our journey. How was this idea for you?
Oh my gosh, it's a great question, Claudia. And honestly, we've done the 5 books so far, right? And every single time it's like the next book comes, I have like a long laundry list of like what the topics that I want to go to. And this one wasn't even on the list. So it's like intuitively, what's going to be the next one? And I just like tune into what the universe is telling me and like what the world needs right now. And honestly, that's how it came up. I'm like, we're going through a huge transition and transformation on this planet, and honestly, like that was just, it just felt right. It felt what was I was being called to do, part of my spiritual practice. That was the download that I had. And I knew that the stories that people brought and the tools that people brought would be varied. And honestly, transformation, we can be pushed into a transformation, or we can electively take up a transformation to happen in our life, like learning, expanding your horizons, growing, your educationally, or something happens in our life, like all of a sudden, we become a caretaker to, one of our
Mhm.
loved ones, and it's imposed upon us to go through a transformation. So this book really was, and I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying all this, because literally it's supposed to be an answer to both sides, because what's going on in the world we can't control, but we have to go through a transformation along with what the world is doing. And for us to become the best version of ourselves and live in our best life experience, we're going to have to make life choices every day and do some sort of transforming in order to live that best life experience. So that's kind of it was just like the next thing. I guess the universe said, this is the book that's next.
Yeah, while you're saying, I just came up with like this year, the Wellness Universe completed 10 years. So I was wondering, of course, it must be like a huge list for you, special for you. As I'm saying, like you're always connected and always have a lot of ideas. But I was thinking maybe like 3 main transformation you believe you've been through during these 10 years. And of course, like including all the members, the authors. What have been like the three things that you may put on your top list, like you've been through this transformation during these 10 years?
Oh my gosh, Claudia, go on to Elizabeth and ask her question. Oh, I literally, there's been so much happening. Um,
Mm.
I really feel very connected to our mission now more than ever. The vision for what the wellness universe is. We believe that happy, healthy, healed humans lead to peace globally. And how are we doing that? And the relationships that I've been building with the members, who are all healers and people who are here to help others find the best version of themselves to live their best life. The connections that I've made, and then bringing that voice really out there to the world in a bigger way. So whether it's 3 things or more or less, I literally feel like we've anchored the energy of the wellness universe in this 10 years finally after all this time, because trying to explain what the wellness universe was to people felt like a bit of a slog. I feel like it has this natural momentum now, so I feel that we've achieved like a higher level. And also the culture that I wanted to create within the wellness universe and for our members and for what we are all individually doing and all collectively doing, it's almost like naturally happening now. Instead of be like, okay, here's what you need to do. Okay, this is what we're doing here. How are you going to, integrate all that together? I feel that people are integrating the practitioners and our experts are are part of a culture now, and we're all together embodying the mission and the vision, and now really creating change. And then that's allowing me to get out of this area, which I still love being here, but also spearhead the corporate wellness where we're, really impacting groups and organizations and speaking to other leaders where they're improving their lives, they're getting the help and healing that they need, and then they're impacting the lives around them. So these are the main really big transformations I feel and I'm embodying, and I'm just like, wow, this is like amazing, like that this all is happening. And you're a big part of that, Claudia. Elizabeth, you're a huge part of this. And yeah, I feel the transformations happening.
I love it. Thank you. I know yours is a tough question, but you just reply like beautifully as always. Elizabeth, for you, you being with us, like I am writing all the other books. How was for you writing your chapter in this book specifically?
Well, this was a treat, because it's 25 tools for transformation, and I went through a very long transformation in my life. I suffered with chronic pain for 40 years, and that was a journey of transformation. And when Anna brought this idea of the book, and I had the opportunity to write the blessing, I thought, wow, I'm going to take her up on that. And I thought about all the effects, the factors, the gifts, the challenges along the way in my own journey. And I tried to kind of distill them down into the essential pieces that um, uh, helped to inspire me, help me to kind of step into my courage and help me face the challenges that I had and have great deep gratitude for. um, I mean, I could go on, but I'm just saying, like, I took those elements that really infused my own experience with the richness and the ability for me to heal, and I just put them into blessing. And I called it blessing for your evolutionary transformation, as we're all on a journey of evolution.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love the tools you share, all the other books, the 25 tools for life as well, and all the guides, the complete self-care. Do you think like for this tool specifically, there was something that you think it was like more powerful as you're saying, you're sharing your own story and everything you've been through at this point of your life? Do you think that it's something that it's different or more special than the others?
Well, this was different because the energy of it is this moving from point A to B. And what is required to do that? I mean, I shared in the very first book on 25 tools for stress relief. I shared on forgiveness. That's also a journey. Um, I did the blessing for the 25 tools for life, which was, its own kind of recipe. But this is, as Anna said, I wanted to address the kind of the overall transformation that we're experiencing now, which is quite there's a lot of upheaval, but also we're always changing. Like we're I'm not the same as I was in the last breath, because I've got like a new breath in me, and there's new molecules, and I let go of some old ones, and so I'm not the same person. So we're always evolving. And I wanted to, in the blessing, I wanted to capture the energy of that, as I said, as an inspirational and as kind of a guide to as you go through your transformation, these are the things that I feel, are the things that really bless the journey.
Amazing. Now a question for you too. Why do you think, like, for some people, it's still hard to embrace this transformation? Whether like they feel like they want to stay
Mhm,
in the same position forever, they like don't embrace
mhm,
the changes because life is about movement, and as Anna is saying about the connection with the universe, that is talking to us all the
mhm,
time as nature is
mhm,
changing, like whether you compare the seasons. But why for some people still is hard to embrace that, and
mhm.
somehow it gets like harder or even painful for them.
Sure. This is why one of the reasons why I think the book is so important. So I have one of my teachers put this so beautifully. He said, when you meet your resistance, that's your evolutionary edge. I
Mhm.
heard him say that, and I took it one
Wow,
step further.
I love that.
If that's my evolutionary edge, it's a choice point, which means I can choose to step right into my resistance and evolve past it. Or if I just don't feel like I am up to the task yet and I need some more like healing time, I'm going to step back from that choice point and I'm going to hang out here until I'm ready. Right. So that I think it's important to create that we have agency, but that we also have the power. And we realize that resistance that we feel to change is a choice point, and we have power, and our power is to choose which way we go, if that makes sense.
I love it. Very powerful. What about you, Anna?
Well, I love, Elizabeth, how you just summarize that. I'll address a deeper thing that's hitting me. And basically, people I feel are resistant to transformation because of the fear that they have.
Mhm.
And fear is typically, tied to trauma. And that's where I feel Elizabeth shines and where she can gently guide people to see the light and to see that they do have that choice point in front of them. And then once you acknowledge that you have that choice point, what do you do? Like,
Mhm.
okay, like what do I do? All right, now that I realize, oh yes, I'm going to give myself enough self-love to accept and embrace awareness around that I have a choice point. But what do I do? And that's why this book is filled with actually more than 25 tools. It's actually 36 tools because the last chapter has 11 grab and go tools, aside from everybody's story, everybody's individual chapter. But I think that if we could just get out of our own way and just say, with grace and humility and with vulnerability, like, I'm broken here or I need help here, and just choose to accept that and just open up that space and just allow information to be there for you, and then pick and choose what feels good for you and what you're where you're able. Like maybe today it's freezing cold outside. I'm not going to go out in the freezing cold, but maybe it's 55 degrees. I'll go out in 55 degrees. And then as I get acclimated to colder weather, maybe I'll go out when it's 28 degrees and it's below freezing. Like, this is sometimes the journey we have to take. And this is what I hope that we've delivered in this book, because we want to meet people where they're at and then bring them to where they want to be, but also allow them to know that they can have that life, that for them to embrace self love enough, that these are the choices that they can make for themselves and they're the tools that they can try out for themselves. Great question. Thank you, Claudia.
Love that. Yeah, while you're saying, I was thinking about the metamorphosis of a butterfly. At the first, the caterpillar was like, what's gonna happen? And then eventually it becomes a beautiful butterfly. And of course, it can be painful, but I think, especially with all what the wellness has been doing, as Anna explained at the beginning of our interview, about how people are more aware of that and kind of integrate, like not separating anymore, like a physical pain and a mental health. We cannot separate anymore, like physical and mental health. They're all together. And I think like when you are aware of that and you embrace that, it can be less painful. It can be soft and smoothly, and you can still enjoy this process of transformation and even like have an excitement with that, like have fun with this process.
Absolutely. I think that, I'm speaking from, being the lead author of this book and everything else, but I would love to hear from Elizabeth, because Elizabeth actually guides
Yeah.
people on their journeys with transformation. Maybe Elizabeth, do you have a time where you've taken someone from where they were scared or didn't believe in themselves, and they've opened up themselves through your help and your guidance, and then have that they wound up on the other side? I personally know that's happened. I've seen the video testimonials that you've received from people, but I would love for you to share a story of how profoundly you've helped someone to see and then get there.
I love it.
Thank you so much for the question. It's so interesting because I had the most profound session with a brand new client last week. I'm in a part of what I do. I do stress management, but under that umbrella, I do something called ancestral clearing, and that process is really a prayer practice where we call on source, creator, divine, whatever you call all that, whatever made all that is. We call on it to help us release that which no longer serves us. We're not asking it to take anything away from us. We're asking it to help us release. And I had a client who came and said, I feel so hopeless. And that's something quite a thing to land in my lap as with a brand new client. And she told me her story, and she has like something happening in her family, which is very challenging. And I encouraged her. I said, well, why don't we look at the ancestral piece of this to see if there's a root where all this hopelessness started. And so we worked the process, and it's a very powerful process. And we went through it, and at the end, you could see her just relax, and she couldn't even access the energy of hopelessness in her field afterwards. And I am telling you, that is a humbling. I mean, I've been in this work since 2014, and I'm still humbled by the power of it. Just right. So, and I don't teach or offer anything that I don't use myself, and that I've run the experiment and I know it works. Right? So,
The scientist in
Yeah.
you, Elizabeth.
so anyway, that was very. It really kind of. It's so interesting because it's as a human person, right, with a personality, someone comes to me and it's like, I've got no hope in my life. What am I supposed to do with that? Well, it's not actually my job to do anything with that other than to attune to that energy and work the process, because creator's doing the work. I'm really just kind of helping to center the energy and help her stay open, right? And anyway, that blew me away. It just blew me away, and it blew her away, obviously.
Amazing.
Right? So it was just a really exciting experience, and it's not like I work on that level of angst every day, but on some level, people come with something that's dogging them, right? Some resistance that they don't know how to push past. Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I think also one thing that for sure people want this, it's because like the guide for self-care, complete guide for self-care of Wellness University is a huge success. All the books, the 5 books that released so far, bestsellers, and I'm convinced that this one not going to be different as well. 25 Tools for Transformation will be one more bestseller. So 8 July, right, the launch of the book. I would like you girls to invite people to purchase in the first week. You know that we have a lot of gifts for them as well. We'll have some events coming up in October as well, like part of the launch of the book.
Yes, Claudia, thank you. So, all of the authors and everyone who's participated in the book with some sort of expert advice, all of our coaches and our practitioners, we have a transformational journey coming up, and everyone's going to take their chapter and put it into class form. So, I did chapter 1, Living Well, Aging Well, Practices to Love Every Moment, because after 50, that's like when you start realizing, like, oh, shit, like I'm not getting any younger. Like, but it's like, oh shit, I'm empowered. Like I could say no, I don't have to, I don't need permission. It is such an empowering time. So I really felt like that was a huge transformation in my life hitting 50. I'm 52 now, but this was my chapter, and I'm going to be sharing a visualization technique to take back your heart. So if you're still walking around, and you feel lost, you feel like you've given your heart over to someone, um, this is what I'm going to be teaching in my class, and I think it's going to be a powerful tool because I know for a fact I actually gave this tool in 25 Tools for Goddesses. I wrote out the whole tool. I gave two new tools in this chapter, but I alluded to this tool, and I want to bring people to the class to practice this tool, the Heart Reclamation Visualization technique, which actually was bestowed upon me by a friend of mine, Josh Williams. It's not even mine. I don't want to claim it. He's the one who told me how to do it. And honestly, if I didn't do that, I really feel that I probably would not be with Hugo right now, my beloved husband. I feel that I needed to do a healing on myself that was deeper, more profound than I could have experienced in any other way than reclaiming my heart. And that was the stage one to manifesting Hugo, because I was in such a bad place and my heart was in pieces over a few things, an ex-boyfriend, other relationships I was taken advantage of. So there was a couple of pieces. It wasn't just like a romantic heartbreak. It was like a self heartbreak. I felt like I let myself down where I was at that time in my life. I feel like I was brokenhearted by a guy that I felt was going to be the guy. Um, and also other relationships I was taken advantage of, friendships, and all of that was like one big ball of problems that was just sitting in my heart, and I had to just really reclaim myself and pull my power back into me. And that's, I feel, was one of the things that helped me with a transformation in my life and find the love of my life. So that's going to be mine. I know Elizabeth has a class also.
Oh yes. Well, I'll be teaching. Really, I'll be working with the blessing and sharing about the really they're really the factors, the elements that we really ought to be conscious of that go into that are kind of in the underbelly. They're the foundational pieces that go with transformation. Um, and as I said, I learned that over many years, and now I've been healed from all that chronic pain for 12 years now. So I've had a chance to reflect and look back at what happened exactly. What was all that about, and how did I even get through that? And like there was an army of people that helped me through all that. Um, but I've had a chance really to really contemplate what that was and how I got through that and to hear where I am now, where I've been able to teach to teach in this space, to teach stress management so people can know that they can heal from chronic pain. Yeah, so that's what I'll be focusing on in my course, my class. Sorry, my class.
So the transformation journey was gonna be starting October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
and everyone can join us. How it gonna work for people that's curious about it?
So when the book is released, the links for all the individual classes will be in the book as well as the bundle. So all the individual classes will be really affordably priced at like $33, something like this for all the individual classes.
Ah,
And then the bundle it's going to have more than 25 classes in it, and it's going to be 80% off or more, actually. So it's going to be extraordinary. And then you have lifetime access to the recordings, and each of the classes, which even more extraordinary, all the classes are going to be held live. So it's not like some recording that's going up there. You have the actual opportunity to sit with the experts in the live session and
yeah.
get poured into your cup by being there live. And they're going to be recorded, so they'll be there forever. So all the classes will be in the book. Every single link after everybody's chapter will have a link to their class, and then the bundle will have that in the back of the book as well. And also, if you just watch our social media and go to our, pages and thewellnessuniverse.com, you'll find the links when they're posted. We're going to be posting those links soon.
I love that. And you give plenty of time because the book is releasing in July and the classes in October. So people
Mhm.
have time to read all the chapters. I think this is amazing.
Mhm.
I
Thank you.
love
Yes.
that. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't want to sound anxious, but July is tomorrow. October is tomorrow. I want this book in my hands. I really need it.
One day at a time, Claudia, one day at a time. Living well, aging well. That's my chapter, and I take it one day at a time now. One day at a time. We will get
Thank
there. The book will come
you.
out, and it is really good, by the way. I've read it. It's really fantastic. It really
Yeah.
shines. So sorry you're gonna have to wait, Claudia. And
Yeah,
thank you,
we'll
by the
wait.
way,
I
for being an
know.
inspirational person. I
Yeah.
want to say thank you for being an inspirational person and sharing your story.
I'm the one that's honored with your invitation. I feel so blessed to be part of this amazing group. Like I always tell them, everyone that I have a chance to get to know more about the wellness universe, how you are necessary in this world. Not just you, but all the members, Elizabeth as well, Jeanette, Leah, all the team. I love you guys so much.
We
Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I was just kidding, right? Because yes, live one day in a moment, but it's because I love to have like the book in my hands. It's really precious. It's not just the book.
Mhm.
It's something
Mhm.
that can really help you in your life on a daily
Mhm.
basis. So I'm very grateful for this bestseller. Okay, so
thank you, Claudia.
thank you so much, girls. I hope to see you soon. And tomorrow we have more interviews with other two authors. So be stay tuned with us, and I see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, Claudia. Thanks,
Thank you so
Elizabeth. Love
much.
you both
Love you
so much.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.